Are you looking for some cool random horror game to kill sometime this Halloween season? If so, you might want to try this one out. I want to start this month's Halloween season by highlighting a game anyone can get for free. It's a beat 'em up game based on the OpenBor engine. The Bits of Rage engine has been around since 2003. Originally created as a Streets of Rage homage of sorts, it later transitioned into the open source project conveniently named OpenBor. The engine itself has been ported to just about everything, including PC, Android, or even hacked consoles. I am playing the PC version for this video, but the cool thing is that the game data it's normally completely independent from the engine, so that means you can take the game itself and test it out on a different platform. Today we will be looking at one of the many Streets of Rage inspired mods for OpenBor, and a perfect fit for this month. Let's take a look at Streets of Rage Zombies. One thing to consider about this game is that there seems to be a lot of different versions available. I'm just going to play the one that seems to be the most recent, but I still encourage you to test and try any other versions that you can find online. As soon as you launch the game, you're taken straight into the main menu, where a few basic options are available that should be familiar to any OpenBor fan. Starting a new game will offer you a few game modes, with each one having its own unique set of stages. The version I have chosen for this video has 7 playable characters, but I've seen other versions with completely different character selections. One of them, for example, had a playable zombie Blaze, and I've seen another one which even had some Street Fighter characters. This one in particular has Axel, Blaze, Max, Shiva, Lily, Adam, and Vatnik, who seems to be just an original character for this game. Out of all the different characters available for this version, I enjoyed playing as Shiva, Axel, and Blaze the most. And for the other versions that I have played, Zombie Blaze was actually pretty cool. I'm not really sure why they decided to take her out of this version. She was very unique and very fun to play. Zombies, it's of course the main game. It lasts for about an hour and a half, and at some point it even offers you some branching paths, with each path leading to a completely different ending. I found that some of the stages drag for too long, with one of them even taking almost 25 minutes to complete, and some others being on the short side. All of the other game modes or routes are much shorter, but they all play essentially the same way and are vaguely connected to the main game story from what I can tell. Each mode offers completely different environments, and for the most part enemies are completely different for each mode, which is kind of impressive, at least from a graphical standpoint, but many also share the same basic attack patterns. The second mode is Corrupted Cops, which takes you to the streets, and as the name implies, you just fight several different types of police officers. And then we have the Craniac mode, where all of your enemies will be some sort of mutant abomination, ending with a fight against what seems to be the girl from The Ring. The next mode is just called Pop, and it will initially have you fighting against some sort of priest, accompanied by 2 sexy nuns. But then it switches it up by taking you to the streets, where you will fight some really strange enemies, like this chair with a human head. You will then be taken to another street, leading to some sort of club. And finally, for some reason it will take you to a bridge, where you will fight an assortment of different punk-looking enemies. I don't even know what to say about this last mode. It's called Veda or Vada. I have no idea, but just look at this. There's even a room which seems to have some sort of television show going on, where you're supposed to fight all of these well-known political figures. Just look at this. It's all weird and intriguing at the same time. There is a little bit of pixel nudity here and there, so just be aware of that in case that you're concerned about that for some reason. Gameplay is decent but unrefined. A lot of the OpenBor games that I have tried tend to have a very specific feeling, and I'm not sure if that's because most of these are based off the original Bits of Rage, or if it's just the way the engine is. What I mean by that is that controls seem responsive at first, but some of the more complex moves that require directional motions, similar to fighting game moves, are a little bit more unpredictable and difficult to pull off. I end up accidentally doing moves I don't want to, and some moves only seem to come out randomly. I can't really complain too much about a free game like this though, and there's clearly a ton of effort being put into it. What really got me into this game, and the reason why I wanted to do this video, is the insane amount of work that went into editing and redrawing all of these sprites. There's no shortage of random monstrosities, all gruesome, disgusting, and extremely detailed. Lovely stuff if you're a fan of this type of horror. It reminds me a little bit of things like Splatterhouse, The Thing, Hellraiser, 80s zombie movies, just really good stuff all around. The animation can be a little bit jerky at times, but honestly, I'm just amazed at all of the different enemies that you can find in this game, and I just end up enjoying it as it is. Sound is mostly composed of effects and samples ripped from other games, and as you might imagine, the music also comes from all sorts of different sources, which is why I decided to mute it for this video, just to avoid any copyright issues. The title screen, for example, comes straight from the first Resident Evil movie. All in all, there's a lot of stuff packed into this game for sure. Lots of content to kill some time with your friends. Give it a try, it's a perfect fit for this Halloween season, and best of all, it's free. This is Retro Origin signing out. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe!